What is up, lads, and welcome back to another video. And this time, guys, it's going to be an FM video. I kind of promised a Minecraft video, but I thought, you know what, let's just bring out an FM video. I spent a lot of Football Manager tonight, and I thought, you know what, let's just put one up. I'll show you where I'm up to in my current Newcastle save and what my plans are for the future on Football Manager and all that stuff. And I'll show you what happened sort of like last season in FM, and I'll show you the players, the squad, everything you want to see really. So anyway, guys, I will kick it off. I will start off. I'll just quickly move this little record, I think, to the side. Yeah, you'll not see that, but yeah, I'll see it. But yeah, that makes no sense. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, guys, I'm Newcastle United, as you can kind of see from the the screen. And what I'll do first is I'll show you. I'm currently in like the second season, like where we are now in real life, pretty much just slightly ahead. But what I'll do is I'll show you my initial transfers from like last season, and then I'll sort of show you the who I got this season and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll quickly show you last season. I'm not entirely sure where what showed you up to like as of last year, where I got up to in the previous video. So if I kind of repeated stuff which was in a video a while back, I do apologise. But yeah, as you can see, some of the players who signed, signed some pretty good sort of young players and some more experienced players like Nene, who's really really performed for me. He cost me 5 million. He's on I think he's on quite a lot of wages. He's on 72k a week, which is quite a lot, but he's kind of like a star player, like a star sign to keep the fans nice and happy and all that crazy stuff. But the best signing I made was this guy. He's from Croatia. He only cost me, I think it was like 2 million. He's now risen to 5 million. He's only 20. Really good right back. He's one of the best young right backs in the game you can pick up. If you just start, I'd recommend pick him up. Really good player. And a few other players like Vertonghen I picked up, and I picked up like Anita, who Newcastle link with in real life. Also picked up Nathan Dyer and a few other just random players. And there's players that sort of left the club or on loan or all that stuff. Pretty much, players that were never going to get a game. Like Rob Elliott, Danny Simpson, Williamson, Kadar, people like that. Gutierrez left as well, who was quite a good player. And I'll show you the transfers as of this season. These are the transfers so far. I spent 43 million this season, which is quite a lot, I suppose. But yeah, that's kind of like how much I spent. Brought in Ben Smith from Crew and John the two Crew lads, basically two Crew youth players, really good players. Crew produce a lot of sort of decent young players. If you're thinking of raiding a club, I'd recommend raiding them. Also picked up this guy from Man City, quite cheap. Picked up a Choluka, maybe a bit expensive, 6.5, but English players are always a bit expensive, I find. And I picked up Brown Dick from New York. I was recommended, Graham Carr recommended him, and then I thought, what, let's pick him up. Look, he's got a funny name, and he's got actually quite good stats, and he's rated quite highly. He's already risen in value, which is kind of cool. And I also picked up a few other players from this guy from France. Looks like a decent sort of young player. He's only 16. He's got some crazy stats, and hopefully he'll develop into a good sort of striker and attacking mid. Also picked up Jack Butland from Birmingham, who's been in the sort of the headlines recently. He was in the England squad, didn't obviously play, and he's also in the Olympic team, so hopefully he'll feature in that. Picked up a couple of free transfers, as you can see. They also picked up a Bruma from Sporting Lisbon, a very good right attacking midfielder. They're only 17 as well, so it looks like he's going to be a good player for the future. Didn't really cost me too much, so which is what you want to pick them up early rather than picking them up when they're in the peak where it's slightly more expensive. Also picked up a Sigurdsson, which is quite a lot, 11 million, but he's a really good player, and he's perfect for my system, and he fits in. So I thought I'd splash out, very good player. Also picked up a Joel Valencia from Zaragoza, very good young player as well. Can play sort of anywhere across the attacking mid positions. Only 17, one for the future as well. So thought I'd pick him up, on the cheap. Also picked up a Nunes. From, I believe he's from, where's he from? He doesn't tell me. My game's kind of fucked up. When you click on history, it doesn't show you previous history, so it's kind of weird. I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, Nunes, young central midfielder, didn't cost much, so I thought I'd go for him. He's recommended by the scout as well from Atletico. Also picked up a Barcelona reserve player or youth player, another attacking right mid. I picked up quite a few attacking midfielders, but it's kind of the way it happened. I like to pick up a few, the same position that I can just develop then, and rotate them, and just give them all equal amount of opportunity and equal amount of chance, basically. So yeah, and I also picked up This guy who Newcastle have been linked with in real life, he's currently on trial at Arsenal, but apparently we're going to be stealing him. Hit it in the news, so yeah, he's from France, only 17, striker. He's called Mboy Niang. I think I pronounced that right. I could have butchered it. He's from Cien in the French league, so yeah, apparently we're getting him in real life. If you don't know, go check him out. Very good player. A few of the players that I left the club, I collected 12.75, quite a lot of loans, you know, giving the young players experience, and a few sort of sales, no major sales. Probably a major sale which is a little bit disappointing, seeing James Perch leave, but he wanted first team football, so you know I couldn't really keep him. So yeah, that is the sort of players in and out the last 2 seasons, and I'll show you the sort of the Premier League as of last season. That's this season. There's been I suppose there's been the one game so far, a draw between West Ham and Liverpool, but just to start the season now, and I'll show you last season. If I didn't actually show you last season, I don't think in the last video, but I actually did win the league, which is pretty cool, you know. First season, which is, you know, quite a surprise winning the league, but you know I played really well and I sort of concentrated on the league. I kind of sort of sacrificed the League Cup. I just didn't even bother. FA Cup, I actually won the FA Cup, but I didn't really play a full strength team. I got quite a lucky draw. None of the sort of like the so-called like better teams like got very far. They were all beaten in the early stages, and I managed to sneak to the final, and I won against Everton, I think, on penalties. But I'll show you the fixtures. As you can see, played 38, won 28, drawn 6, lost 4, which is, you know, pretty good. 90 points, you know, pretty much walked it really. The 3 teams that went down were Sunderland, which is pretty funny, Wigan and Blackburn. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for them. And there's the, you know, top 4: Tottenham, Man United, Liverpool all got Champions League. Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal get the Europa. And actually, I think Chelsea didn't get Europa, but Everton did, because Everton got to the final of the FA Cup, which is quite funny. If I click on them, I'm not sure if it'll show us. Let's have a look. If I go view fixtures, yeah, they're not in the Europa, which is pretty funny. Shame on them. Yeah, so yeah, what I'll do now, guys, I'll show you the fixtures. Pretty much what has been happening. This is the pre-season, but I'll show you last season first, because the pre-season, this season doesn't really matter. That's last season. Like the start of the season, all them wins early on was pretty crazy, and then I actually lost my first game against Man City at home, which is a little bit disappointing, but you know they deserved the win. They got some really good players, and then I went on another sort of a double game win, and then I lost to Arsenal in the League Cup, but I wasn't really too bothered, to be perfectly honest. And then I drew with Spurs at home, which was a good result in the end, because they come second in the league. So at the time I was a little bit disappointed, you know, drawing at home, but Tottenham have got some good players, like Luka Modric, always a thorn in the side when I play Spurs. He always has a good game, because you know he's a good player. I lost to Swansea at home, which is a little bit of a weird result. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but yeah, won loads of games there. My clean sheets was very good as well. Like I hardly ever concede. You know, when I concede, I get quite disappointed. I pride myself on my defense. Won a few games there. The here went for a little bit of a sticky patch, but you know you always get that. You know, in the season you get a few little sticky patches like that, but you just got to sort of ride the rough of the smooth, I suppose, and just keep going. I lost to Arsenal again in the league, which was again at home, which was a bit of a bogey side for me, Arsenal, but you know, you get teams like that which just beat you for some strange reason. There's like nothing you can do. But yeah, there's the other results there. 6-0 FA Cup over Ipswich. These 2 results here just got the confidence going, and the run I went on here was crazy. Like win, draw 0-0 against Stoke away, which is not you know, not a poor result, but it's not a great result. Like I kind of went in the game and I thought, you know what, let's just defend, because you know Stoke, you know what they're gonna do, and I kind of went a little bit too negative, too defensive, and I didn't actually score. But yeah, that happens. And I went on a little bit of a run here. You know, won some good games, and then I eventually drew a game, but that was in the FA Cup, so it didn't really matter. You know, I won on penalties against QPR in the semi-finals, so yeah, still won the game, I suppose. And then I drew with Aston Villa in the league away, which was kind of a dodgy result, and I also drew with Man United. As you can see, they're like 2 in a row, 1-1. But you know, a draw, that's sort of the end of the season, not a bad result as long as you don't get beat. You know, as long as you keep getting the points and winning a few wins here. And then I lost to Tottenham there, but it didn't really matter. The league was all over. I just played youngsters, and then I beat Norwich last game of the season. I'll show you the FA Cup just to make a look, so you can see that what I won. We'll go like that. And there you go, you can see my run in the FA Cup, like Walsall, took us sort of 2 attempts. Wolves took me 2 attempts. Then I beat Ipswich, Swansea, QPR, Everton. So you know, it's not really the hardest sort of run you're ever going to see in your life. You know, to win an FA Cup. You know, the best team I played was Everton, which, you know, if you're gonna play the Everton, you know, Everton are a good side, but you know, you're gonna take them to play in the final, and then that is that, I suppose, and that's the League Cup. It's pointless showing you because I got knocked out pretty much straight away. So I won the league, which is, you know, pretty cool. And what I'll do now is I'll show you the fixtures as of this season, just to show you where I'm up there. Pre-season went really well. First game against Ashton, which is near where I live actually, which is, you know, quite funny. I thought I'd play them in a friendly just to see what they're like. Beat them 12-0. I'll show you the the stats that absolutely destroyed them, but yeah, I suppose only like an amateur side. But yeah, will it load up? It's not gonna load, but yeah, it's not gonna load, whatever. We'll just leave that then. That's a bit of a fail. But yeah, we beat Blackpool 5-0, we beat Anderlecht 6-0. Some of the games here were just crazy wins, and then we beat Tottenham in the Community Shield of penalties, which was, you know, pretty cool. And yeah, what I'll do is I was the manager of England under 20, Great Britain under 23s for the Olympics, and I got to the quarterfinals. I'm not sure if I can if I have time under 23, I might be able to sort of find them, but I'm not. No, what I'm gonna have to do is if I go home, I'll try and show you that just because, you know, it's something different, I suppose. Where will I find that? I'm a bit of a noob still. This skin slightly got me a little bit off center, I suppose, but yeah. Where would I go for that information? If I go profile teams, it's really weird. My game, it's like kind of fucked, but yeah, I don't know why it's doing this. But yeah, news. I'm not sure how we'll actually get that up, but yeah, it's actually, I know if I go messages, yeah, that's a good idea. Messages, and then if I scroll down to under 23s, there we go. There we'll get it here, right? Ivory Coast under 23s. So we'll go fixtures, and then we'll go Great Britain. There we go. Simples. That was my, oh shit, wrong button. There we go. Right, there we go. That's a bit of a fail. But that's the squad I chose. I actually had Rooney in the squad, but he got injured, which was quite frustrating. And then I didn't bring in a striker, which was a bit of a poor move. The only striker I had was Danny Sturridge, and he wasn't the greatest. I came third in the tournament. I'll show you the fixtures, as you can see. The groups went kind of a little bit not as planned. Uruguay was a bit of a bogey side for me, as you'll see. In the Group A, I will show you the Group A. Might as well show you, you know, while I'm here. I came second in the group. I lost to Uruguay, which was a little bit frustrating. Uruguay, you know, had some really good players. They had Cavani, they had Suarez, you know, they had some really, you know, high-profile players. In the formation I was using was kind of like a 4-3-2-1. I wanted to try it out and see how it worked. I've never used it before, and it, you know, didn't really work for us. But yeah, that is that. And we came second in the group, which was kind of a little bit annoying because you always get a, you know, hard sort of game next. And the next game we got was the quarterfinal against Switzerland, which we won in extra time 3-2. It was quite a, you know, quite a strange game really. They got a player sent off, and I managed to just hang on there and win the game. And then in the semis we lost to Uruguay again, which was kind of a little bit weird. But yeah, Uruguay got some really good players, you know, and I wasn't too surprised at that. And then in the third place playoff we beat Brazil 2-0. I don't know why it's not letting me click on. It's kind of been a little bit frustrating, but yeah. So we got the bronze medal, and yeah, that is that. And what I'll do now, I'll show you the Newcastle squad. I'll show you the players. The most expensive player I've got is Sigurdsson, 11 million, or Kabai's value's risen to 10. But I'll show you the tactics and just show you the starting 11 and what I normally run in the sort of the players that I use, I suppose. So yeah, that's the kind of the number 1 11. So you got like Bar up front, Sigurdsson, Ben Arfa, Nene, and you got Cabaye, Toyote, and you got the Croatian right back, Vitanogan, Colaccini, Santon, and Tim Krul. 4-2-3-1. I quite like the formation. It's quite a good formation to use. You know, if you got a really good, you know, individual striker like them with Bar, you can also bring Cisse on. You can just rotate them. They're equally as good. Bar's slightly better though, so that's why I normally start Bar instead of Cisse. Then you've also got, like, on the bench, you've got Obertan, Dyer, Goslin, Anita, Mangala. I don't know if I showed you him, but he plays, if you play FIFA, you'll know who he is. He plays for Porto. Very, very good centre back, especially in this game as well. If you look on his sort of chart there on the right hand side, you can kind of play. If you develop him properly, you could probably develop it in a few different positions there, which is, you know, pretty good. You can develop into a full back or even a wing back, you know, if you put a bit of time in it with training schedule and all that. So I picked him up quite cheap as well, very good player, and yeah, very underrated. No, I wouldn't say underrated, but like, yeah, underrated. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Underrated and young. And the other tactic I have is my 4-3-3 or 4-5-1, whichever way you want to look at it as well, 4-1-2-2-1 or whatever. Yeah. So this is when I use this formation, it's kind of when I'm playing against better sides, you know, like they sort of defend deep and sort of just counteract that sort of threat what they'll sort of throw at me. And I like to put a bit of pace in the team. I normally play Dyer that side because it gives you a little bit of pace, or even overtime on the side. You know, it gives you a lot. And I sometimes bring Gossel in it, and just for his work rate, really gets up and down really well. Or what you can do is you can put Kabay there, and then you can put Sigurdsson in there. Sigurdsson's really good player, got really good stats, and that's kind of that, I suppose. I'll show you some of my younger players if that kind of interests you. I've got like a few younger players, and none of them really feature as such yet, but some of them out on loan and stuff like that. If I click unavailable, you might be able to see more. But yeah, that's kind of like my squad. There's nothing much in my reserves. Few players that I'm struggling to get rid of. I'm trying to get rid of Shola, which is kind of like I shouldn't really do that as a Newcastle fan, but his wages are like too much. He's on 26k a week and he's not going to play, so I'm trying to get rid of him, but no one wants him. I managed to get rid of Cisco, which is quite funny. I think Florentina took him off my hands. What I'll do is I'll search Cisco and we'll see where he ended up. People, there we go. There, Florentina. Florentina took him. Foolish of them. He's only on 35k a week there, which is kind of stupid. He was on 55 in Newcastle, so he left for less the money, which is kind of retarded. But yeah, I suppose that is that. First fixture, guys, is Reading. I don't know if you want me to live com that game or live com a few of these games, or you want to see more of this, then just leave it in the comments. I'd like to see your thoughts and opinions on this. This video has kind of been pretty long. It's been like 17 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign out now, guys. And if you want to sort of see more of the Football Manager series, I will continue it. It's pretty fun to do. It's a fun game to play. And if there's anything else I've missed, I do apologise about that. Actually, I'll show you the league table just to show you the teams that came up from like last season. The new teams in the league are, I do believe, are Reading, who came up, and we also had Burnley who came up, and West Ham. Burnley have actually got a pretty good young manager in Eddie Howe. David Edgar is the captain, which is quite funny, I suppose. He used to play for Newcastle, if you don't know that. And yeah, that is the table, guys, and I will sign out now. And I don't think there's anything else I need to show you, really. I've showed you pretty much everything. I've showed you the squad, I've showed you the players, I've showed you pretty much everything. So yeah, guys, I will sign out now, and peace.